So the more videos I make about a carnivore diet, the more questions I get. So today I have even more carnivore diet tips for you. Welcome back to Big City Mom channel. Tip number 1, don't supplement when going on the carnivore diet. In fact, focus on the food only and forget about all other supplements. Now here's why. Most people go on the carnivore diet because they have really bad gut issues and stemming from it chronic disease, things like allergies, skin issues, all sorts of autoimmunity, to name a few. So what you are trying to accomplish with a carnivore diet is to seal your gut lining, and the carnivore diet is excellent at it because you are removing everything else that could irritate your gut lining. Now, if you look at just about any supplement, the ingredient list will have something like rice flour, rice bran, or sometimes titanium dioxide. And what these things do, let's say rice flour, is a very aggressive lectin that increases your gut permeability, the leakiness of your gut so much so that the supplement, the mineral or the vitamin gets absorbed quickly and efficiently. Now there's no malintent on the part of the supplement maker. They want to make the supplement as good and as absorbable as possible. But if you are dealing with gut issues, increased gut permeability, you're sort of sabotaging the efforts that you're putting into being on the carnivore diet with a supplement that have lectins in it. And I made quite a few videos about lectins and what they do to our gut lining and how they increase gut permeability. I will link them in the description box. Check them out. But the bottom line is, if you are dealing with gut issues and that's what prompts you to go on the carnivore diet, you don't want to add any supplements because they will slow down the recovery and sealing of your gut lining. Now later on, when you deem healed, reversed from all your issues, if you want to add supplements for a limited period of time, targeted intervention, I think this may be a good idea. I do believe supplements have their place, but just as the name implies, they only supplement a good diet and a good lifestyle. So let's say you're in a situation, let's say there is a virus going around in your office, and you want to boost your immune system, so you want to take some vitamin C, maybe vitamin D3 and zinc. Sure, no problem. Just don't make it a permanent habit. Tip number 2, don't worry about organic, grass-fed, grass-finished meat, especially if you can't afford it or you don't have access to it. Now, to be sure, in the perfect world, it would be great if all of us had access to affordable, organic, grass-fed, grass-finished meat. But we don't live in the perfect world. So start wherever you are, both with access to meat and financially. If you cannot get organic steak, then you will be still a lot better off if you get a steak from the supermarket versus getting refried beans with some loaf of bread. I'm telling you, your body will recognize the difference. So start wherever you are, focus on getting meat from 4-legged animals, and as you evolve with your diet, maybe the circumstances of your life will change and you will be able to afford more or change where you live. Sometimes I get clients from the parts of the world where there's no such a thing as beef, or there's no pork available in that country. So you have to be creative and adjust your behaviors to where you are. A good replacement for beef and pork is lamb, for example. If you are really tight on money, then ground beef and eggs and some butter could be a good way to start on the carnivore diet. And while we are talking about butter, tip number 3, just because you are going on the carnivore diet to reverse gut issues doesn't mean you have to give up butter. Now, there is a group of people, usually they have a bad cases of autoimmunity, that they will have to remove butter from their diet. But a lot of us, even with autoimmunity, I myself had pretty bad case of rheumatoid arthritis, and I was able to continue eating butter. And I'm very happy about that because I love butter, and it is such an easy way to add fat to the diet and delicious on top of it. So you'll have to try and see how it works with your body. Some people will have to get rid of butter, but some people will be able to keep it in the diet. And there's no way of telling in advance. You have to eliminate it and then just see what happens to your body, and then add it back and just see if you can tolerate it. One workaround if you are lactose intolerant is to try clarified butter or the so-called ghee butter and see if you can keep butter in your diet this way. But when it comes to butter, it is a great fat, it is delicious, it is a very easy way of adding fat to your carnivore diet, especially if you care to be in ketosis. So if you don't have to give it up, it's probably better. But if you do, then you'll have to stick to meat, fat, salt, and water. But it is not automatic for everybody. And tip number 4, don't use spices with your meat, especially if you are in the phase of the dietary intervention to address chronic health issues. Again, it all comes down to the increased gut permeability, or the so-called leaky gut. Many spices have lectins in them, things like chili peppers or cayenne pepper. These lectins are very aggressive. They increase the gut permeability, and so they too sabotage what you're trying to accomplish with the carnivore diet. Now, there's a caveat here. If you are on the carnivore diet because you want to reverse diabetes type 2 or hypertension, or want to lose weight, but otherwise your gut lining is intact, then there's no problem with using of spices on your carnivore diet. But for the rest of us, with leaky guts, stomach acid issues, and all kind of other digestive problems, spices are not good, especially if you are in that phase where you're trying to normalize everything in your gut. Now, later on, starting with herbs, you can probably start reintroducing one at a time and see if your body tolerates it. And tip number 5, be patient, because there is no shortcuts on the carnivore diet. Unfortunately, it takes time and commitment, and depending on the degree of damage to your gut lining, it may take weeks, even months, sometimes years to normalize your gut permeability. I find that the people with stomach acid issues and Crohn's disease are the ones that need to be the most patient. And unfortunately, there's no shortcuts. Nope, you have to day by day eat your animal proteins, eat your animal fats, drink your water, salt it, do it over and over again until you are fully healed. All right, so these are my additional 5 tips for carnivore diet. I have an entire playlist dedicated just to the carnivore diet. I thought there's not much else that I can say, but you know what? The more I do it, the more excitement and questions I get about it. And so there it is. If you know of somebody that is at wit's end, chronic disease, wants to get off medication, send my channel to them. If you haven't yet, subscribe, hit that notification bell. If you want me to coach you, put the diet plan together, there is a link to Rivero.health where you can request coaching from me. It's really affordable, $17.99 for half an hour. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.